Welcome to Silicon Valley Nonprofits, a service of KMVT Community Media. I'm Bev Lenahan, your host, and our guests today are Dee Dee Fisher and Kim Young from Atherton Now Building Community. Thank you both for being here. Hi, Dee Dee. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming today. Well, I know you're working on a very exciting project for the town of Atherton. So, Dee Dee, tell us a little bit about this project.
We are in the process of building a new town center.
Hooray.
We all feel that way. It's very needed, and we have a lot of excitement, some beautiful plans, and a lot of very excited, hopeful people working with us.
Oh, very happy to hear that. Well, I imagine it's something that's been long overdue, I'm guessing. So tell us how much...
I was going to say some of the buildings date back to before World War II.
Oh, my.
And so rather than we've done some remodels. We've brought in some temporary trailers that are now permanent eyesores. And we realize now that we're at the point where we really just can't keep remodeling and adding on. We have to build an entire new civic center, primarily a new police station and then administration buildings.
Well, it comes to that point, I think, along the way you realize, uncle, enough is enough. So how much money are you raising, and what kinds of, what will it look like?
Our goal is $30 million. What will it look like? Well, it's going to be reminiscent of Santa Barbara.
Oh,
so
my favorite place.
And it will be reminiscent of what we have, our old town hall, which is there now, that will be remodeled. So I think that the architecture that's been chosen will fit very well in the neighborhood and in our community.
And then part of the new Civic Center will feature the new library, and the library will be more contemporary. So it's going to be bringing in some old Atherton architecture, as well as some more modern things that are a little more maybe eco-friendly and a little more contemporary. Sounds
like a beautiful blend.
It is.
Blend. So how are you bringing together the groups to raise this money? It's private money, is that right?
In 2011, the town of Atherton voted that they wanted a new town center, but they wanted it funded by donations from the residents. So we have formed a 501c3, Atherton Now, that consists of 2 council people and residents that have different skill sets that are all helping us collect and raise money for this endeavor.
Very important to get that representation on your campaign committee right off the bat. So how's it going? How's it going?
Well, we've had some great meetings, and we've had some major donors who've stepped forward. We have everyone from retail entrepreneurs to co-owners of the Golden State Warriors. We have people who are distinguished investors and real estate developers. And then we have some more modest gifts from people who just love their town and who make gifts in honor of their families or loved ones who have passed away. So we have a full spectrum of donors.
That's really helpful. So I imagine that, how long have you been, you're in the silent phase, is that true?
We are running a fairly traditional capital campaign. We are in the silent phase, you're correct, and working very hard to become public. Mm-hmm. And at that point, we will continue with some what we think will be exciting events for the community, including farmers
markets and performances.
To really engage the community in what this new civic center is going to be like and what they might experience that would be different from what they ordinarily would.
Now people don't really think of us as having a civic center. They're vaguely aware of the police station and an old post office. some people know there's an aging library under the redwoods, but it's not a place where people come. It's not a destination at all.
It's a lot of empty parking lots.
It's a lot of empty parking lots. And so we're raising awareness about what this can be. And we're creating some civic pride for the first time in a long time.
I think that's so important, and with so much movement of younger families today, I think they are looking for a little more sense of community and a place to be. And that probably wasn't always the case with the residents of Atherton, but I think increasingly it probably is. So that's all a really good thing. And are you finding the sense of community is including some of the people who are themselves entrepreneurs, but then are happy to come home and be home, and they want sort of a place to call home?
I find as we're making these contact calls that some of the newer residents are searching for a place to go, a place to meet people, a place to be. And whether it's the wives raising children or the families that are the husbands and wives that are coming home, they'd like to go have possibly a cup of coffee or go to a farmer's market or
hear a lecture.
Yes.
Right now,
or a book club, or
a book club. I mean, we've been reaching out to people, and everyone has different passions and preferences. So there are certain residents who just want a state-of-the-art police station. They want to be disaster ready. They want to have current communication systems. They're more concerned about security and that kind of thing. And then you have residents who are passionate about, as Dee Dee said, farmers markets, music performances, art installations. You have people who want to have their book clubs in a lovely civic center environment. Young families want to have a place to bring their dog possibly, or to have a little picnic lunch.
Yes.
And so this is all evolving, and we've been getting advice and input from all of our residents.
Tell me more about that process, because I think I understand you did quite a process of listening to discover what was of interest to the residents, and that conversation sort of continues to make sure that the location and the place and the buildings are going to be really what the community wants.
The City Council had formed a committee that works with them to kind of design the facilities that will be built. And in that process, they've been exposed to the community, and community has come around and said, yes, we like this, or we like something else added here, or are there enough parking spaces there? Have you considered if the train stops in Atherton again, will there be enough places for people to park? So there is ongoing input that is very much involved in this whole process.
We've also had some coffees, and we have a video that we show about the current facilities. And so people see the need, and then we talk about what the center can be, and what do we want for our civic center to be. And we've had lots of good advice at these coffees as well.
Kim, I'm interested, what was one of the things that just you were shocked about when you actually were discovering the depth of the need there?
I think what surprised me the most is that we were talking about, we'd have multimedia rooms, and we would have, speakers, but people really want a place to have a cup of coffee with a neighbor. I mean, more than anything, they really want a cafe. But we've also talked about having a historical room where we honor the legends of Atherton.
Oh, what a great idea.
And, some people know that we've had some amazing athletes, artists, and inventors, but, Ty Cobb and Willie Mays have called Atherton home, Peggy Fleming and Joe Montana.
Wonderful.
So we have lots of very well, known athletes, but we also have entrepreneurs, people who have developed pharmaceuticals that are saving lives, and of course software companies, and again, artists and musicians that have come out of Atherton. I think, in fact, I'm remembering that Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac lived in Atherton.
Oh, really?
I think Stevie Nicks might have been here too at one time. So there's a lot of things about the people who have lived in this town that our residents don't know, particularly our younger residents don't know. So there's a lot of excitement around this historical room where we honor our innovators.
Yes, some of the things that we've taken for granted for a long time, this newer generation doesn't know about.
Exactly.
So instead of reading about the history books, they can see it.
Yes.
Which would be really nice too.
Yes.
So you mentioned coffees. What are some of the other outreach efforts that you're doing to sort of connect with people and tell them the story and get them engaged?
Well, we're having events at people's homes, and some of those are wine tastings, cocktail-ish parties. Whatever the host wants to do in presenting it to their neighbors and friends is how we are presenting this to the community.
So they're information sessions, and that really gives a smaller group a chance to ask the questions that are most on their mind, right?
And we haven't moved yet to the larger event kind of settings where we will expose it to larger parts of the community.
Well, I think...
But we were thinking about it.
And Dee Dee has also met one-on-one with donors. There are people who want to really have an in-depth understanding of what the campaign's about and what the needs are. And Dee Dee will meet with some of these people. There are naming opportunities for parts of our new Civic Center, and some of the major donors want to know what those kinds of things are. So Dee Dee has really been out in front meeting with these people and having in-depth conversations with them.
I have a wonderful team that's all working on it together.
It takes a team
she's
effort.
Our fearless
It takes
leader.
a good team.
$30 million, that takes a team effort, that's for sure. And it may not sound like too much when you think about the capability of folks in Atherton, but it's still a lot of money, and people want to know that it's being spent in a way that is going to feel good to them. You know, that's the most important part, being
One of the things that has been something that we've been hearing about is that residents did not know there was such a disparity between the lovely homes that we live in and the deplorable conditions that our police and staff work in. We want to build a civic center where employees and police are proud to come to work, because right now they really can't say that. And so I think there is a movement really to do better by our employees as well as by our neighbors.
Well, it's a respectful thing to do, isn't it?
I think so.
If you expect the top-notch services from them, you want to be able to honor them with a place they feel good about working.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Well, if people want to get a hold of you and want to be involved, how do they do that?
We have a website,
Good.
Atherton-now.org.
Okay.
And there is a phone number, there's a donate button, and there's lots of information there.
Yep.
Well, we'll look forward to coming to visit when it's up and done, and we thank you so very much for being with us today, both of you.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you, Dee Dee.
Thank you for having us.
Kim.